Every Kanye West fan is probably celebrating right now at the news that his new album Donda is confirmed to be dropping this Friday, July 23rd. We just got a wild commercial from Beats from the NBA playoffs, and there's so many updates coming, and we're covering everything, including an album review this Friday. So if you're new to the channel, subscribe for more details and new info. We have a whole catalog on the channel about all the latest updates on this rollout, and this is huge news, man. This rollout is coming into full effect. We got a song today, and we're getting, another song tomorrow.
Absolutely. And what's crazy about this rollout is that Kanye is making the fans do the talking. So all of the speculation and all of, let's say, the hype that has led up to this moment of the confirmation has been done through media outlets and fans. He hasn't even spoken about it until now. So it's been cool to see the build up. So let's actually talk about this Beats commercial, because a lot of info was revealed throughout this. So obviously it starred Sha'Carri Richardson, and it previewed a new Kanye song called No Child Left Behind. We obviously have a feature at the beginning of the song featuring Vori, and it also gave us a bit more information about what's to come. So we are going to be getting a second song from Kanye tomorrow. Well, probably a full song. That's not confirmed yet. We got No Child Left Behind tonight. Who knows what we'll be getting tomorrow, but it'll be a Nike commercial instead of a Beats one. Not only that, but we did get information that Kanye will be streaming Donda on Apple Music at 8 p.m. Eastern time. It was indicated in the commercial. And listen, we've also got confirmation from Def Jam, and we also know that Kanye will be performing at Rolling Loud Miami on Sunday, July 25th. He will be doing his set, and apparently there is going to be a new sort of set structure for him. So he's going to have this pyramid
the same one that he had at the DMX Memorial.
For the DMX Memorial, and he's going to bring that back, and it's going to be cool to see this whole sort of rollout go through.
It's finally confirmed, because every Kanye fan was like, this is not dropping, it's not going to happen, was flooded in our comment section, but now Def Jam's reporting. We have Sha'Carri Richardson who's saying another commercial and another new Ye song dropping tomorrow, Donda on Friday. Everyone is confirming that the album's going to be out, and this is massive news because it feels real this time. I mean, we've been disappointed with Yandy, with God's Country, and a bunch of other releases, but this time we're finally getting a new Kanye album. So let's actually talk now about him being back on Instagram, because that was huge news, and we got a series of photos where he's kind of showing his all-black outfit, and this new era of Kanye West is taking full effect. We have his mask, we see kind of his kit for his performance, I'm assuming, where we have a Bible and this chain that he's wearing that read Saint and North, the names of his children. So what were your thoughts on the aesthetic of those pictures?
Really cool, because he's kind of telling you what he's coming with this next album, because we had done a video on the new era of Kanye where we were talking about how important the aesthetic is to each and every single one of his rollouts. I mean, go back to Yeezus, you obviously have the iconic mask. Go to The Life of Pablo, that's when he was wearing the caps, and he had the Life of Pablo merch on. Jesus is King had a completely different thing too, where he was wearing certain types of styles at his Sunday services. So it's cool to see now how he's transitioning into something else. But let's actually get into the album cover, because this was a massive release as well. We kind of got confirmation on what's to come, and a lot of people were like, oh, it just looks like a regular album cover, but there's actually a significant meaning behind it. And this actually comes from an old French painter called Louise Bourgeois, if I'm not mistaken. And the whole concept behind her painting was she was inspired to make this painting when her mom passed away and pursue art at the age of 20 years old. So it kind of ties into the Donda title. So what are your expectations, let's say, for the content of the album and going into, let's say, the overall vibe and thematic basis?
Based on No Child Left Behind, which is the song that was previewed in the commercial, I got these very gospel-esque vibes, because you had the organ playing, you had these piano keys, and Kanye is sounding very uplifting. He's saying how God has worked miracles for him, and I feel like that's going to be a part of the album, but it won't be everything. With the album cover, it's pretty exciting because it's a very abstract piece of art, and it's kind of just the shape of a woman, and that woman probably represents the nurturing relationships that Kanye has felt with women in his life, be that his mom Donda or his ex-wife Kim. I think it's just going to be really focused on that, and speaking on the actual listening party details, because Kanye, of course, performed in Vegas. We got a lot of news there, because we found out there's going to be about 12 to 13 songs that he played. Of course, everything's bound to change with Kanye West, because he makes last-minute changes at the very last second. But we also know that he's back to cursing, and we kind of got the idea of that based on what we saw on Faith, right?
Absolutely, and that was a very big indication of where this album was going to be going, because obviously Jesus is King was, kind of like, really, strict on
It
the
was
swearing.
it was focused on God.
and it was focused on God. It had a very big gospel vibe to it, and it was strictly a gospel album, if I have to say that, with the exception of a couple of rap songs. But besides that, it seems like Kanye's going back to this,
Yeah.
old rap aesthetic, and we talked about before how there's going to be maybe new soul samples in this, how there's going to be a different type of production. So
And
talking about all of that, I'm just way too excited to hear what he has to come with.
oh, for sure, man. And apparently, there's also a song that previewed called "Welcome to My Life," where he talks about Kim and I guess the fallout of their marriage. And apparently, he stopped after playing that song, paused the listening party, and like cried for 2 minutes, which is pretty deep. But I mean, it's great to see that Kanye is being real with us, and he's gonna pour so much of his emotions and his sentiments that he's feeling in his life all into this album. I feel like we're gonna have happy moments, we're gonna have sad moments. Apart from that, we also have a bunch of confirmed features, man.
Yeah, let's go through
we have
this.
Baby Keem, who is on a song with Travis apparently called Praise God, and Baby Keem's doing this kind of Playboy Cardi-esque baby voice, which is kind of interesting. Apart from that, we have Chris Brown, who went on Instagram today, posted a story saying Breezy X Yeezy, so maybe Waves Part 2. I'm always down for a new a Chris Brown hook on a Kanye song, so that's exciting. I also want to see Selena Johnson on this, because her hook on All Falls Down is one of the best Kanye choruses of all time. Apart from that, we have Hurricane with Lil Baby, apparently. We have 24, You're Gonna Be Okay with Post Malone. And we have Ty Dolla $ign. A bunch of features pretty much like you can expect with every Kanye West album. But I mean, at this point, with all this news and the fact that, it's probably going to be very focused on, Kanye's current mindset and, of course, his relationship with Kim and probably, his feelings with still grieving with his mother's loss. What are your overall expectations with this album?
Overall expectations, that's a very good question. I think it's going to be a return to form for Kanye, because a lot of people have been doubting his craft for the past couple of years, especially with the release of Jesus is King. I feel as if it was this, the one point in Kanye's career where people were questioning a project, and I feel as if it's unfair criticism, because the album was really well put together. The quality production mixed in with all the beautiful engineering and the sequencing, I love that aspect of the album. But it's going to be nice to see Kanye coming back and actually, spreading a message that, he's feeling, and that's something that, in a current mindset that he's in, because he's gone through a fuckload of shit. And I had mentioned that, in the past couple of videos that we've been doing, there's a lot of experiences that I want to hear Kanye talk about and just give us insight on what's going on in his life.
Yeah.
Because every time Kanye drops new material, there's a certain type of inspiration that you could take out of his writing, regardless if it's the most complicated writing in the world or if it's just a simple Kanye verse, right? So
Yeah,
that's what I'm expecting. How about you?
I would say that I expect this to be maybe Kanye's most thematically focused project in a long
Really?
time. I feel like it'll be very lyrically dense. I feel like we'll be getting, bar heavy Kanye like we might have heard on songs like Saint Pablo, for example. And I do think that this will be a modern day masterpiece. I have a really strong feeling that this might be his
People are
best
coming after you
since
for
My
that.
Beautiful Dark Twisted
Yeah.
Fantasy, because people are doubting Kanye, and you can't doubt Kanye. What I really want him to do, though, like T-Pain recently said, the music industry, especially hip hop, is getting very stagnant, and we're hearing a lot of artists sounding the same. But you can always count on Kanye to innovate and to bring that ingenuity to the rap game. And I feel like that's what he'll do. He did it on The College Dropout, with that production style of the Chipmunk Soul. He did it on 808s and Heartbreak with inspiring a whole new generation of rappers to go into the emo rap lane and to be more melodic on their singing on rap songs. So I want Kanye to innovate. I want him to influence the next line of rappers and also just, be very personal and give us a mix of his emotions like he's known to do.
Absolutely. But let's talk about this Apple Music event, because this is very interesting. This is the way you're going to probably be able to hear the album firsthand. It's coming out at 8 p.m. Eastern time to stream.
Thursday, July 22nd.
Yeah. So do you think that he's going to release the album right after, or do you think he's going to maybe wait a bit? Like, what's the situation with that? Because let's say even the live stream lasts for like an hour and a half to get through the whole album and get through the whole live performance. Like, what do you think is going to happen? You think he's going to wait on it, or he's going to drop it right away?
I feel like he might even make some changes after performing, that album at the Mercedes-Benz Stadium, because Kanye's notorious for always making last-minute changes, even an hour up to the release. So I feel like we might get some changes, but I do think that he'll play the album at 8 p.m. and then come midnight or maybe 1 a.m., we'll get Donda and we'll finally get to hear it in the way that it's meant to be heard. And I'm just so excited for this, man.
Yeah, and do you think that this is probably going to be one of your favorite albums to review this year? Like, are you excited for the
For
review?
sure. I mean, Kanye, he's an album artist. We can't say that about every artist in the game, but he has one of the best discographies of all time. And I feel like everyone who's doubting Kanye and his creative abilities will think twice about speaking on his name after this one.
Absolutely. And listen, just for, to go through the videos that we've dropped already, we dropped like an Everything We Know back on the weekend when we first got indications of the album. So we kind of did a bit of speculation. Then we did an update video, I believe like 12 hours later when we got more info. And now we're here, doing this where we're kind of giving you guys new information. If there is a new single that ends up dropping tomorrow, we will be covering that single. And of course, you guys could expect that review to come Thursday night, well, probably Friday morning early. And then obviously all the other content that comes after. Thank you for watching the video. It's always a pleasure doing content for you guys. Listen, if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel because we're doing album reviews, and we actually have our series called Everything We Know, where we take you guys through the whole album rollout of the hottest releases of the year. Not only that, guys, but our Patreon plan is now live. You guys could access that in the bio. I appreciate you guys, and I'll see you on the next one.